Okay, everyone, before we begin our work on slide 5 and 6, let's just do a quick review of what you learned from the video. So again, when you begin writing a story, you kind of have two choices. You can decide to write your story in the first person point of view or the third person point of view. If you decide to use the first person point of view, that means a character in the story will be telling the story from his or her point of view. That means the main character, most likely, will be the one talking to us, the readers, and telling us about their perspective, telling us their thoughts. But that means that we would only know about how that character is feeling, and we wouldn't be able to find out how the other characters are secretly thinking inside, because we're only hearing from the main character. If you're writing in the first person, you would use the words I, me, we, us, because again, you are pretending to be that main character for the reader. Do you remember some of the stories that we read during the early part of our school year? Remember Pecan Pie Baby and The Bike Like Sergio's and Fly Away Home? All those are fiction stories, and all those were written in the first person perspective. That means the main characters were the ones talking to us. So in Pecan Pie Baby, Gia, who is the main character, is the one telling the story. So she's using the words I, me, when she's referring to what's going on in her life. Remember A Bike Like Sergio's? Do you remember our main character, Ruben? He is the one telling us about wanting the same bike that Sergio has. He is the one telling us how he's feeling when he hides the money that he found at the store from mom and dad. And you remember the story Fly Away Home about Andrew living in the airport? He is the one talking to us. He is the one remembering the events of that story. So all of these fiction stories were written in the first person. Now, Gia, Ruben, and Andrew are not the authors, obviously. They're pretend characters that the authors came up with. But the author just pretends to write in their perspective. So below is just an example of sentences you might see in a fiction story. And you can tell that in this story, it's written in the first person because the author uses the words my, me, I. It says, today is my first day at a new school. I have had butterflies in my stomach all morning. I hope the other kids like me. Now, we don't know who this character is, but whoever created this character, they're pretending to be them and tell the story from their own eyes. Now let's move on to the third person point of view on slide 4.